Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium, CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world.
And TheAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Catholic Cubans challenge communism. Catholic peace activists are being attacked after challenging the infamous Castro regime for its brutal abuse tactics. Reuters reports the Ladies in White, a group of women protesting against the unjust imprisonment of their husbands, met with Cardinal Jaime Ortega's staff, members to appeal for help with escalating violence on the part of government thugs. Sources say attacks on the women were becoming more and more commonplace because the government is concerned that the group is growing, encouraging the oppressed to stand up for their human rights to free speech. The Wall Street Journal says the Ladies in White attend Mass in their white dresses every Sunday before they demonstrate, carrying flowers through the streets in vigilant protest until their husbands are released. Quote, Islamic Compassion. The horrors of Gaddafi's crimes against humanity in Libya are being compounded by Islamic religious practices, exemplified by a man who allegedly slit the throat of his 3 daughters after they were raped by soldiers. The, quote, honor killing was documented in a report done by a group called Physicians for Human Rights, or PHR, a nonprofit group that uses medical and scientific expertise to investigate human rights violations. The report mentions a discussion that PHR members had with 6 Libyan gynecologists who gave, quote, credible reports of military-sanctioned rape as well as honor killings that occurred in response to these rapes, end quote. When talking about the father and the 3 young girls, theblaze.com points out, quote, the shame was so deeply felt that the honor killings seemed like a viable method of handling the fallout. Abortion nearly abolished. A historic initiative to completely ban abortion from Poland has failed by a razor-thin margin, rejected by Parliament in an excruciatingly close vote. LifeSite News reports that there were 5 abstentions, with a final count of 191 to 186. You may remember the petition to bring the issue to a vote required 100,000 signatures within 3 months and got 600,000 signatures in 2 weeks. Current abortion laws in the state will remain in effect, allowing abortions when the mother is diagnosed with a health problem, if the baby itself has a serious health defect, or if the child is a result of, quote, illegal activity. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
Funding Holdout. Kansas' refusal to return taxpayer dollars to Planned Parenthood is paying off. As one referral clinic says, it may have to close its doors if its help is not guaranteed from the government. You may remember earlier this year, after Kansas removed Title X funding from America's abortion giant, a federal judge filed an injunction ordering the state to restore the money to Planned Parenthood. LifeSite News says that ruling is on appeal, and as one Kansas newspaper put it, quote, the state hasn't yet freed up the money, end quote, instead relocating it to healthcare institutions that don't exclusively offer abortions. However, Planned Parenthood Kansas and Mid-Missouri has other worries as they face charges for 107 criminal accounts for late-term abortions later this fall. Irish Vocations. In a country fraught with obstacles to the Catholic Church, 22 heroic young men are answering the call to spread the faith as priests in the Emerald Isle. During a speech to the candidates, the president of St. Patrick's College says, quote, you come from a wide range of backgrounds, previous experiences, and the 4 corners of the country, but with one common factor. You are responding to an invitation given in and through faith, end quote. The average age of the men entering the seminary is 25, and they come from 14 of the 26 dioceses of Ireland. The newly minted class of seminarians brings the number of priestly candidates to 90 in Ireland. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. And be sure to check out the Vortex today, where Michael talks about keeping the lights on in the current crisis befalling the Catholic Church. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tell all your friends about us, and as always, God bless.